Hi there, and welcome back to the History of Fleetwood Mac. I'm Anita. Today we're going to get into Fleetwood Mac's Tango in the Night. Now, you probably heard me a couple of videos ago just going completely out of my mind for Mirage. And I'm going to try and curb my nerdism for Tango in the Night because I'm pretty nerdy about it. It's pretty special. For me, Tango in the Night is really I got my first job to get my first tickets to see my first Fleetwood Mac show. I was completely fully invested in Fleetwood Mac, with starting with really Mirage into Wild Heart, as I've mentioned in the past. But I quickly picked up all the albums by this time. I was smitten with Mirage and Wild Heart, the videos that came out of that. Like I said, this time, and even Rock a Little. Somehow Rock a Little just really went under my radar. And I think that was because it was kind of a point in my life where, I mean, it's prominent, and I got the album when it came out and all that good stuff, but I was moving, changing school, starting in high school, that kind of thing. So definitely by 87, however, I got my first job. And whereas most people would be like, oh my goodness, she's all grown up now. I got my first job mostly so that I could make enough money to get tickets. Then I didn't care about working thereafter, and to get merchandise, pardon me, to get merchandise. And unfortunately, 40 some odd years later, that's still my mentality. I know I need to work for big girl stuff like bills and stuff, but it's really all about the tours and the merch and everything you see behind me. So, yeah, so it's really just a special time. I was fortunate enough to live in the Bay Area. Well, I live in Santa Cruz, and so you'll hear more stories about this. And one day I'll give the whole story. It's kind of funny, but I was attending the show at the Cal Palace in San Francisco, which is where they filmed the Tango in the Night special that we all know and love on VHS, and is it on DVD yet? Laserdisc, all that good stuff. There were two nights. I honestly can't tell you which night I was there. I think Lindsey Buckingham only came out one of the two nights, so that would be the night I was at, because I didn't even realize what was happening. And when I did realize, I about lost my mind because Lindsey Buckingham was on stage. But it was just really overwhelming in a positive way, but just so much was going on. A crowd like that, a show like that. It was Fleetwood Mac. I mean, I thought I dressed real cool. When you see my outfit that I was wearing to that show, what a wow! No. And then I remember being like in the ladies' restroom, and a girl had a VIP pass around her neck, and I had $100 on me. This is 1987, so that's kind of a lot of money. And I'm thinking to myself, offer her that $100 for that pass, Anita. Just try. And I just, of course, had no cojones. I just chickened out, and it was just my first concert. And then I thought to myself, well, then I couldn't have gotten any T-shirts or program, and yeah, so it's kind of funny. There's so much to the story, but anyway, we're going to start out like I normally do with the 12-inch singles that came out before the album, and then we'll get into the album. Pretty good pile, as is usually the case. Pretty good amount of stuff that came out for Tango in the Night. Pretty big, decent pile for the albums as well. Although I don't have quite as many albums as I thought, and that's a little disappointing. And it's really disappointing that I don't have the current Tango in the Nights that have come out in the last year or so. But I digress. We'll get to that later. Starting off with Big Love, which I think I've gone in all the 45s, was the first single to come out for the album. This would be the USA Big Love 45. This is just a double-sided, it's Big Love, same on both sides, promo copy. So it's just a 12-inch version of the 45. And like I said, that came out. I'm testing new lighting and a microphone because I'm getting all fancy like. So forgive me. I'm working on stuff. So there you go. That's better. And hopefully I sound better. It's a little bit more loud. Because it was even bothering me when I get a playback. It seemed like I had to turn up my volume really loud. So um, let me know. Hopefully it's not too loud now. Anyway, this single, that was the first one. Promo only. Don't see these too often. I'm sure they're there. Maybe I'm just not looking for them, but it's weird. Usually things like this really end up in like dollar bins and record stores, just all the time. And I really don't see them. And especially because I'm sure quite a few were released for this, but just one of those things. Next up, you have the one that you would go to the store and get. This was the 12-inch dance single. They seem to really use this cardboard casing for all the sleeve, whatever you want to call it, for all the singles that came out in the 80s. I swear to God, every single that came out in the 80s had this exact look. They weren't specific to any band. They were specific to the 80s. And it seemed to me, especially 1987 onward. So this was two-sided, 45 RPM. One side had the Big Love extended remix at 6 minutes and 42 seconds. Big Love House on the Hill dub, cool version, 3 minutes and 3 seconds. B-side is a Big Love piano dub, also a cool mix at 6 minutes and 36 seconds. And then You and I Part 1, 3 minutes and 9 seconds. So, these were like, gosh, in 87, these were probably about $5 or $6 at the store. Dance singles were becoming a hot commodity, so it was really cool to have mixes and stuff like that. So Fleetwood Mac was getting in on that as well. Next, we have the UK 12-inch, which is similar to the American one. This is not a promo, however. And the sleeve has a really weird number on it. I don't think that's numbered like it's specific to that many numbers. I highly doubt it. But it is weird that it came with that. And this is just, again, like a 12-inch 45. You play it at 45 RPM, but, it's a big 12-inch version. Big Love extended version. So it's the long play. Doesn't give me the time, but I'm guessing it's probably the regular extended remix. I'm going to guess it's the 6 minute and 42 second one, probably. And then side 2 has You and I Part 1 on it. Then this is the sleeve. Next up from the UK, we have the first of 3 really special releases that came out, and the first picture disc to come out for Fleetwood Mac. It came out in this sleeve like this, so plain plastic sleeve with the sticker, and just a plain background, kind of a hard plastic. And it had no sleeve of its own. I put it in a sleeve, but this would be the picture disc, and I love this picture disc. I love it. I really ought to put it in something and frame it. It just looks so cool. I love that color green. I love it. So it was Big Love and You and I Part 1. This is the other side. So it's this side that's Big Love and this side that's You and I Part 1. Really cool. So the first picture sleeve to come out for Fleetwood Mac from the UK. And the UK released 2 more, which you'll see coming up. These come and go. These come and go. They weren't limited edition. They weren't numbered, but you see them pop up a lot, and then they kind of disappear again. They can go anywhere from like, $20, $30 to $75, $100 for a short amount of time. They're really expensive. But yeah, they're really nice to have. Next up, we have Little Lies. This is that same cardboard sleeve. We have Little Lies extended version, 6 minutes and 7 seconds. And then on the B side, we have Little Lies dub version, 4 minutes and 4 seconds, and the B side, Ricky, which is, I love that B side as well. And then next out of the UK, we had the next picture disc. Again, it would have had this hype sticker on it. This one I didn't have a hard insert. It just came in a weird plastic sleeve, pretty barren, just with the sticker. And let's see, this side would have been Little Lies. And then this side was Little Lies with the dub version and Ricky. I found that these also play really nice. A lot of people really complain. A lot of people don't like picture discs. I think I brought that up a little bit. I don't think I've shown a picture disc yet, have I? Maybe with the rumors, later ones. The later ones, questionable. I still haven't had a problem. But these ones from '87 I think they were just fine. I think they played just fine and really not much different than things like this. So next up would be the Seven Wonders single. Again, this one says promo, but it's only promo on the sleeve. The record has no indication that it's a promo, but that's how I purchased it. This was Seven Wonders extended version, 6 minutes and 38 seconds. And then Seven Wonders dub version, 4 minutes and 32 seconds. And Book of Miracles, again, a B-side at 4 minutes and 28 seconds. The dance single that you would buy, again, at Tower or wherever. And then next up, we had yet again another picture disc out of the UK. Again, just a plain sleeve with the sticker. I think I might put this in. I'm not entirely sure. It's a little piece of cardboard. I think only the first one had that black background. That's kind of like a piece of plastic. I guess got cheaper or they didn't feel it was cost effective. It's hard to say. For this Seven Wonders, again, real stunning, great picture of the band. So this side was Seven Wonders, and then this side had Book of Miracles with Seven Wonders dub version. Fantastic singles to have. Highly 10 out of 10 recommend. Just great collectibles. Love the color. It'd be cool to put them all up. And I thought about, all these like different frames and such like that for to have them up as a collage. I have so much crap up. I have so many photos that need to go up, and yeah. So one day, if I have a mansion, I probably still won't have enough room to put up all my Stevie stuff that I would like to have up. But next we have Seven Wonders out of Germany. 12-inch version, much like the 45 version. This included Seven Wonders extended remix, A Book of Miracles, and Seven Wonders dub. Next up, we had Everywhere out of the UK, extended remix, only on, this is actually the only thing I have for Everywhere. I imagine, and it seemed to me like I had like the, the regular, I think it's maybe on my Discogs want list, because I'm pretty sure that there's a US release of Everywhere that has Everywhere, just the song, just like the 45. No picture sleeve, just that plain cardboard sleeve that has the, Everywhere, the one version on the front and back, same thing. Just those little things I need to pick up. Most of these, not everything, but a lot of these were picked up at the time. All those green singles, all those generic cover dance singles, these were definitely picked up. In fact, these are probably even copies of what got picked up because I played the crap out of them. So they might be even newer additions to some of the stuff I have. But this one had Everywhere. Side 1 actually had Everywhere extended version, Everywhere LP version, Everywhere. Side 2 had Everywhere dub version, and side 2 also contained When I See You Again. Next up, we have Isn't It Midnight? Now, this was unusual because, again, I told you I don't have the Everywhere. This was an unusual find for me because this was an American release that's not a single. This is a promotional 12-inch, much like the 45, with just Isn't It Midnight on side A and side B. And if you recall, on the 45s, I don't believe the Isn't It Midnight was a U.S. release on the 45. So I thought it was interesting. It got radio play. It was a single. So I guess maybe later, or I don't really remember now. I'm so terrible at this. I have all the stuff and I do know that stuff, but I go back and forth and I make notes and I'm pretty confident about one thing and then I'm talking about who the hell knows. But I'm pretty sure that this is kind of unusual because it wasn't a... Damn it. I'm going to have to go back and see. Somebody's going to correct me, and that's fine. I am absolutely fine with that. I'll give you all the credit for knowing. So, isn't it? It's pretty cool. This is a nice find. Definitely one of my happier things to have because it's unusual to be a 12-inch. Isn't It Midnight out of the UK? Now, this is normal. This matches up with the 45. So, the 12-inch version, just like the 45, and this has Isn't It Midnight? Regular version, no extended mix, which is odd. So no dance remix of this song, just the song with Mystified, another track off Tango In The Night. Pardon me. And then the B-side has Say You Love Me with Gypsy. Somebody's ears just perked up when I said Gypsy. And this is the single here. Now I have another one from Germany, and it's funny. The only difference is really weird. It is a little bit thicker, but if you can see, this has a border. This does not. There we go. So that was kind of unusual. Otherwise, virtually everything's the same. Labels a little bit off. It just has that, which I've shown you on other pieces, just has that little V, something like that. So that is the German version, and the same thing. Everything's the same. Isn't It Midnight, Mystified, Say You Love Me, and Gypsy. Literally, I have this because this one has a small border. Mm-hmm. Yep. That's enough of a difference for me. Sign me up. Again, odd. We have Family Man. That again was a release, I guess, in the US. And again, this was marked as isn't it? Yeah, as a promo. But again, no indication on the record that it is. Family Man versions were really weird. And if you've gotten, I think I've probably aired by now my videos on the CDs collection that I have, the CDs I have for Tango In The Night, and the Family Man remix is really, it's kind of wild. There's a great part with Stevie on there, and I know that's just winding her voice up and down, but it sounds so cool. I absolutely love it. So these versions are really neat, and I highly recommend them for just the weird little Stevie parts. Now, remember, Stevie didn't really participate much in vocals. She was in and out, and I've been told that even what I think of Stevie's vocals in this aren't hers, but it's clearly her. Did she record the part for this song? Possibly not. Could be that she had done something else, or he messed with it. I don't know. I think she did record it and he just wound it up and down and such. But could be that he also, like, what do they call it now? Like, deep faked her voice and put it in there, but back in their day version or something. So, yeah, this is really cool. So, this Family Man, again, the dance mix that you could go buy at the store, though this one says it's promotional. Family Man extended vocal remix at 8 minutes and 30 seconds. That's pretty long. Family Man, I'm a Jazz Man dub, 8 minutes and 52 seconds, almost 10 minutes. And then Family Man extended guitar remix at 6 minutes and 26 seconds. Family Party bonus beats, 4 minutes and 36 seconds. And it's odd to see it as Family Party, which is kind of a different, it's the same song, but technically you could say, right? Because that's different. And then Down Endless Street, which is the other B-side, which I also really like at its regular 4 minutes and 24 seconds. So that one kind of stands out. Next, we have the UK version, which is just the sleeve similar to the box set and the sleeve I showed you from the UK. This has Family Man extended vocal remix, and the B-side again says Family Party bonus beats and Down Endless Street. Next up, we have Tango In The Night. Again, as I mentioned, kind of odd. A US release of Tango In The Night. Tango In The Night's going to play a really important role. Again, also why I love this album. My God. A story for another time, but try to remember that Tango In The Night. This song in particular, this song got me somewhere really special, very special event in my life for pertaining to Fleetwood Mac. And yeah, so not only do I love this album, I love the song, but then this song unbelievably got me somewhere really freaking awesome much later in my Fleetwood Mac journey. So this is just Tango In The Night, 3 minutes and 56 seconds, both side A and side B, promo, USA. And then we'll wrap it up with a really unusual find. There's a few of these, kind of like the 45 ones that I've shown you in the past, but it's really neat to find these versions, these 12-inch ones. And this is out of, I think, I want to say Argentina. I wish I can't believe I didn't mark it. Of course, I don't have my magnifying glass to be made fun of. Brazil. This is from Brazil. And what this is it's a 12-inch version of like a 45. You play it at 45 RPM, and one side has Phil Collins, Wish It Would Rain Down, and then the other side has Aerosmith, Jamie's Got a Gun, and Fleetwood Mac, When I See You Again. Of all the tracks to be out, wow, this bright light now. That's charming. Yikes. Yeah, sorry. When I See You Again, that's a weird choice. That's a super weird choice. And I got it because it was really unique. I thought that was really neat to have on there. And it's just the standard album version. 3 minutes and 47 seconds. I guess that just says from the album. But yeah, that was really neat. So that's also one of my favorite pieces because that's just so weird that When I See You Again. Now, there are plenty of compilations like this, much like the 45s, where they will put several songs on there, but it would be something more prominent like Big Love or Little Lies or something like that. But to choose this song to put on there, I just thought was really weird. So that came in under 30 minutes, which I'm grateful for. So, making these a little concise and better for you. Next up, I will have my albums. Not too many, but there's some radio shows and there's some little extras and stuff. And I hope you enjoyed these singles. My God, that light. I'm so sorry. I'm trying here. There's glare on glasses. Yeah, I don't know. Again, I'm not a professional. Just, just enjoying this as I go on, and just thought I'd give it a whirl. Try to set up my backdrop a little bit nicer and stuff. So hope you enjoyed this, and next week will be the albums. So thank you again for joining me. Everybody have a great night. We'll see you next time. Bye.